It's okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to August Meet and Eat with Tracy, Martha, Dee Dee, and myself, Leah. Good afternoon, good evening, happy hour to those of us on the East Coast and sort of midday to early afternoon through the West. We hope everyone is staying safe and well. How are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Okay, how are you all doing?
So, Dee Dee, I know you have kind of we can tell you're in a hotel room, so tell us what's going on.
I am in Lander, Wyoming, really close to St. Canyon, and visiting my girlfriend who I haven't seen for about 2.5 years, Barb? 3 years. I haven't seen her for 3 years, and she only lives like 6, 7 hours away. But we both were going stir crazy at home and decided to meet kind of in the middle and go hiking for a couple days and just get out in the fresh air, which is really smoky because of all the fires. But it's away from home and away from kids and away from obligations. So it's just, I'm really excited. And we both brought lots of food because we both are foodie people. And I have brought a salad to assemble for everybody today.
Great.
That's cool.
Tracy, what are you up to?
Actually, it's rainy today and I can't wake up, but I was doing some digging in the dirt earlier today since the North Carolina mud is horrible to normally plant things. So I got out there and got all gross and disgusting, but it was worth it.
Good.
What did you plant?
Gosh, I don't know the names. I have monkey grass. I have some daylilies. I have a couple other things that I just have to get in the ground. Trying to fill in for next year.
Dave, I love to.
Martha, what's up in, oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting not Florida. Where are you?
No, Kentucky.
Kentucky, that's it. Somewhere down here.
Kentucky, yeah. Not much, just working like normal, all that good stuff. So being at the hospital at 3:30 in the morning. So, still doing that run.
Oh, are you cooking anything good for us today?
Yes, I'm going to be cooking. It's a recipe from the Allergy Table. She's a blogger in actually in Ireland, so that's kind of cool. And it's like a no-bake, gluten-free millionaire shortbread. So it'll be interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm having to substitute the chocolate with a white chocolate on the top. So.
Awesome. Well, we just finished our first week of virtual 3rd and 5th grade with results. One kid melted down every day. One kid was like, "Oh, I'm done with my work. Can I go play?" So I told them I would make my infamous donut cake. So this is just a allergy-free, free of the top 8 chocolate cake. And so you make it in a bundt cake, and then you just throw on allergy-free sprinkles. I was telling everyone earlier that I made this last night, fell asleep. It cooked for 6 hours, which is not recommended. So again, a few minutes ago or over the last hour, and like I said, you just put this on. And the way I get the frosting like this is I melt it in the microwave. It's Enjoy Life chocolate chips, some coconut milk from the can, and sugar, and melt it up, and you pour it over.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they will be there pull at the moment if you can hear them in the background. So that we're going to talk about today our number one sort of allergy tip that we give to clients or friends or anyone who sort of comes to us that they're new to the allergy game. So I was going to go ahead and start since I was super prepared. I was thinking through all the things like I'd been through when I was number one. And in fact, I said it to a woman today. I said, you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. Things are going to happen. You may have to use your auto injector. Forgive yourself and move on. You're going to need help. And whether you make them, I know I've made mistakes, my husband's made mistakes, family and friends have made mistakes that have all caused reactions. And the biggest thing I can tell you is, forgive yourself, move on, as long as you're okay. And, everyone uses the EpiPen or auto injector, whichever kind you have, just move on with life. So that was my number one sort of tip.
Yep, I agree.
That's an important tip.
I want first so no one can steal it from me too. Dee Dee, do you want to go since you're on a time crunch?
Yeah, then my number one tip is always, always, always have a spare change of clothes for your food allergy child.
Oh.
Because you just never know what is going to erupt from their bodies when they're having a reaction. You know, in our house, it was always vomit. It was just always vomit, and just always have something comfy that they can change into, because you just, again, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and sometimes it's nice to keep something for you too. I learned that on a plane.
Yeah, a shirt is a good thing. I had to, one time my daughter, not an allergic reaction, just air sickness reaction, and she vomited all over me and all over herself, and I did not have a change of clothes for her. So the airline people were so nice. They let me keep an airline blanket. They gave me a blanket to wrap her up in. So I wrapped her up. She was about 2. I wrapped her up in this blanket, and I had to take my clothes off and put them in an air sickness bag. And my husband, fortunately, he had a t-shirt and undershirt on under his button-down shirt. So he gave me his button down. So we get off the plane with a naked baby wrapped in a blanket, and him in his like Fruit of the Loom white shirt, and me in a size man shirt. And so embarrassing. So yes, absolutely. Having spare clothes for mom and child, really important. Really important.
Yeah.
But who's next?
Martha, go
Great.
ahead, Martha.
Martha, okay. Oh gosh, I think my tip that I tell people now that I really wish I had known at the get-go was to have a counselor or a therapist like on your back pocket, just ready there, because you never know when you're going to need them. I don't care how much you try not to put on your child or how much they don't want to like put on you. They need somebody outside the family to talk to about it, and that kind of thing. So we were going through things with my middle son already, so I already had a counselor when Kara had her moment. So, you know, you can't always fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always tell people, just get a therapist. You know, it's just as important as your allergist and your doctors. It really is. So that's what I learned. Besides the, you know, vomit was always a problem for us too. So that's a really good one. I always forget about that because we've kind of moved past that a little bit. She can contain it pretty easy now because she's older, but yeah. So that's my tip.
Good tip. I like that one a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, our mental health, the mom burnout is real.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep. So my tip, it's been usually across the board when anyone ever asks me, is always listen to your mommy voice. You know, when my son was a baby, he cried a lot, and it had to do with the food allergies that we hadn't discovered yet. He always had gassy belly. He would be pulling up his legs, trying to make his tummy feel better. He didn't sleep. He just cried. And, you know, the first reaction from so many people was, well, babies cry. It's normal. You're going to have to let them cry it out, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I tried that. But then you get to a certain point where you just know this is different. This is not a fussy baby that just doesn't want to go to sleep. Something is really going on and really wrong. So, you know, don't question yourself. You're allowed to be overprotective. You're allowed to overthink. It's your child, and you want to make the best of, you know, whatever they have going on. You're supposed to be there to comfort them. So, and that also goes opposite. I mean, if it took you a while to figure that out, don't beat yourself up for not being more attentive, because it's a learning curve.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Very true.
that's a good point. I can think of many people like, oh, you're overreacting, he's fine. And I was like, no, that's a lot of hives. That's not heat. Someone once told me, we lived in Houston, they're like, oh, I think that's just heat rash. I was like, that's a pretty sudden heat rash. Like, no, I don't think that's heat rash. And then literally, you know, within a minute, he's like throwing up and everything. But I know often I've been accused of being overprotective, and I was like, you have no idea. Like, literally have no idea what this kid has been through.
You have to be. It's not just like a regular, oh, he fell down and scraped his knee, he's got to suck it up. No.
No, it's going to stop breathing. Hold on, I can find it.
It's no fun. The stopping breathing part is no fun.
Dee Dee, what's your salad? Do you want to show us as we continue to chat?
I have been eating this every single day for this week because you all know me and that's what I do, right? I make a salad and I eat it all week long. I didn't have to put anything in jars or anything. I just had to bring it all to Wyoming because it was already done. But this is a Waldorf salad, and it is not from the food allergy blogger. It's from Dr. Sears from Zone Perfect. And so do you want some, Barbara? Do you want me to make one for you?
Sure.
Okay, I'm making two now. So it's Dr. Sears Waldorf salad. You can Google it, and it'll pop right up online. And it's so yum, y'all, and so easy to make allergen-free. It calls for a yogurt-based dressing. So I just used a dairy-free yogurt. I like Kite Hill. We don't have nut allergies in our house, but you can use whatever dairy-free, if you've got a dairy allergy, yogurt that you like. And then you cut up, you have chicken, and I know you can't do this, Martha, sorry.
It's okay.
The pre-done chicken, but if you've got like leftover rotisserie chicken, it's a really good way to do your chicken. So you just throw in some chicken, and mine is already cooked, so it makes life really easy, which is fabulous because we like easy. And then you cut up apples because it's a Waldorf salad, so you have to have apples, right? So I have here apples, and cashews, because again, no nut allergy, and raisins. You throw that on there, and if you have a nut allergy, tree nut allergy, and you can't do cashews, oh, and I just gave it all to me. I didn't give any to Barbara. I should fix that. Parts is a really good substitute, and lemon parts are the mung beans. Dried mung beans makes a nice little crunch too. Those are nice little substitutes for that. And then some onion to give it a little bit of kick. No onion for you? Okay, just a little onion for me. She doesn't like onion in her salad. She's hiding over there. She doesn't want to be on camera. She's very silly. And then a little celery. And so I just chop all this stuff up at the beginning of the week and then throw it on the salad, and it's amazing. And then this little curry sauce, which is curry and either parsley or cilantro, if you don't like parsley or cilantro. This is parsley because I'm not a big cilantro person. So just a little curry dressing, yogurt based, and that's it. So it's really super easy to substitute and throw it together, make it a big end of the week, and then you can eat all week off of it. It's fabulous. So that is my meal of the day, ladies. That's what I got.
That sounds delicious.
Beginning of the week.
It's so good. It's so good. And then it takes that long to make lunch every day once everything's all chopped up. No time at all. And I put a little lemon juice in with the apples and shake it up so the apples don't turn brown. I have brown apples, and that's kind of gross. I'm not. So excuse me for a moment. I'm going to walk this to Barbara so she can eat. You're going to come get it and say hello to everybody finally? Brad.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
She's one of my oldest friends. I've known her for 23 years.
We
Go
cannot see.
ahead. Wait, tell her. She's just a body. There we go. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, about right after my youngest daughter was born. And Drake was 2 at the time?
Yes.
Yeah. So a long time. Those kids were raised together, like brothers and sisters. And then she moved to Utah, and I moved to Colorado, so both from Florida. So we're closer now. We still don't see each other as much as we should, but we're closer now.
Life gets in the way.
She's back in school getting her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're excited. Okay, who's next?
Okay, I'm gonna go over here now.
You can say.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Who's got the cooking to do?
See, I lured her in. She didn't even realize it.
Yeah, you did a good job there, Tracy. It was awesome.
So, does
I
anyone
have
care
to
what
start
I
putting
did?
mine together. What? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Sorry.
A mess over here.
Martha, are you cooking today, or?
I am cooking today, but it's like not cooking, so it's no heat involved. So I have to put like a layer together, which I kind of already did almost because I just wanted to make it I'm having so much trouble with my internet. It looks horrible. So if I fade out on you all, it's nothing personal, believe me.
I think everyone is. I blame virtual school and everyone working from home. It's disastrous.
They haven't even started virtual school year yet. It starts Tuesday for us. So
It will get worse.
and I'm balancing this on Hungry Harry's boxes that I just got an order in yesterday. So it's really high tech. So anyway, I put together, so the base of it, you kind of put it in and you literally, there's no baking involved. You use like a bread pan, but it's coconut flour, 150 grams, honey or maple syrup, 85 grams. I use a scale so I can convert easier versus trying to do cups and that kind of thing. But 150 grams of coconut flour is about a cup. 55 grams of coconut oil softened, that's like the shortbread part. And then there's figs, dried figs, 180 grams of figs, coconut milk, honey or maple syrup, and then some salt, like pink salt, if you want to put it in there, or regular salt. And you make like a caramel layer. So you let the base set, then you make your caramel, which I already did a little bit of it. I macerated some figs and some dates because I didn't have enough figs. So I figured it would work. So you kind of like make a caramel. Then I'll make a topping. She's using chocolate bar. Obviously I can't because of the coconut or chocolate allergy. I can't talk. I'm blaming 3:30 in the morning. Okay. And then I'll heat that up, and you can use it in the microwave with coconut oil if you have coconut. So it's a pretty good, easy, basic recipe. I was like, I can probably do this and still talk and maintain without too much of a deal. But I just mixed up the shortbread actually, because I was like, oh, I'm worried if it'll come together very well. Okay. We may kill each other, I'm not sure. Or I might hurt myself. Anyway, so it's just a basic cookie dough. Can't really see it that great there. But I went ahead and I put my pan in the freezer so it could get extra cold. Because obviously, if you're going to want it to harden up quicker, it'll do that. So I'm going to go grab that, put this in the pan, and then I'll start trying to make my caramel. But I'll probably mute myself because I'm using my food processor, and I still don't have a great setup here we're probably going to get a tablet next time. But anyway.
Get you a stand.
Yeah, it's like, so she just needs to come and help me. My daughter does, but she's staying away today till after the food's ready.
Yeah.
So Tracy, did you want to start while I go off camera?
Yeah, that's fine. So I made this morning actually because I knew it would take too much time. It's not something that I found from an allergy-friendly blogger. It's actually a recipe I saw on TikTok that I wanted to redo allergy-friendly. So basically, I guess I don't know even what it's called. It's a cake, but it's baked in a casserole. And you spoon it out, and it's not pretty, so bear with me. But what it is you mix pumpkin. I used coconut yogurt. It called for 4 eggs. I used a powdered egg replacer instead. Sugar, pumpkin pie spice, and salt. And you mix it all together. And then you take your favorite cake mix. So I took Hungry Harry's yellow cake mix. You sprinkle it on top, and you don't mix it in. And the original recipe called for walnuts, but I used hemp hearts instead. And then you just drizzle the top of it with melted butter. And you just bake it, and it comes out as like this spoonable cake. But the fun thing is, I'm going to try to put some on a plate. Hold on one second. And the deceiving thing about this is when it cooks, it's still kind of like wobbly when it comes out. Because I cooked it for like an hour because I was afraid it wasn't working. But it's actually, what it'll do is it'll set when you take it out and let it cool a little bit. And then the top gets like caramelized, like a hard kind of crunchy, buttery, sugary, I don't know. It's good. It's actually very good. So I'm going to actually put this together and pin it on my Pinterest page sometime this weekend. So you guys can try it too if you want. But it's definitely, it reminds me of like, I don't know, like maybe a cobbler sort of, but with pumpkin pie. Does that make sense?
Ooh. That'll be fun in the fall to make.
But it's super easy.
So I will give you guys my secret recipe. So I usually use King Arthur, but we're still having some trouble getting, or I just use like a basic gluten-free cake mix, you know, sort of flour mix. I'm still having a lot of trouble finding sort of basic gluten-free flour mix stuff here in the Atlanta area. I haven't been able to get King Arthur flours or cake mixes. So I tried the Kroger brand. We can all see that. Cake mix. I can only get chocolate right now. Interestingly enough, I can't get vanilla. But what I kind of wanted to show is, so this is totally egg-free, and you can see how thick and fluffy it is. I use applesauce with baking powder, but what I do is I also add vinegar, and I mix it, like whisk it together until it's basically a science experiment, like bubbling over. And then I mix it with all the other ingredients. It's the last thing I mix, and then I pour it in the pan and I let it sit for 10 minutes. And if I don't let it sit for 10 minutes, if I'm rushing or forget or whatever, it comes out like a pancake. If I do let it sit for 10 minutes, it's light and fluffy. So that seems to be a big difference. And I wish I could tell you, I use about a tablespoon of applesauce per egg, and I have no measurement for how much baking soda I use. I literally just sprinkle it until like it's covered. At some point, this is the Italian heritage in me. I measure nothing. And then I also just pour the vinegar on it until it looks about right. So one of my friends, when I was trying to explain to her how to do this, she's like, could you please measure? And so the one time I tried to measure, it came out weird. So I'm going to keep trying to figure out my measurements. But the other thing I'll do with this same recipe is I'll make cupcakes, and I put the frosting in the middle, and I make what we call whoopie pies. And those are really fun I can put them in the freezer. They last, well, basically until my kid finds them and eats them. But they're fun to bring to birthday parties or other like kid events, because then he doesn't feel like he has like a boring cupcake, even though it's essentially a cupcake turned inside out. It's kind of a more fun treat. Or if you make a bigger cupcake, you cut the tops off so you have two tops. But it's, you know, all the same basic cake recipe, but it's just, it makes it a little more fun and, you know, feeling less left out of the big cake. This is rewarding for everyone surviving first week of virtual school.
It looks delicious.
It's a lot of sugar. I actually none because chocolate and sugar gives me a migraine. I have sparkling water and vodka. Cheers.
I'll take the vodka.
Mom and Dad survived too, sort of.
Well, this was our first week also, and it wasn't too bad. My daughter's very good at doing her own thing and staying on task like she's supposed to. I think what the most annoying thing is our school system called us about 150 times and left voicemails about, well, we've heard that we've had some complaints about the system not working, so just bear with us. And then it would be, well, we're still working on it. And I'm like, you know what, dude, stop calling me. I'm not going to answer the phone anymore. I don't want any more voicemails. Just fix it. Just go on. But had some pretty interesting stories from my daughter, though, about what some of the students were doing during their Zoom classes.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
High school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are littler. So, I mean, it was funny, my third grader, I'm sitting here in the kitchen and we set up a desk. We actually took out our kitchen table and made it my husband's desk up in our guest room. Our house looks like insane people live here. And so I'm sitting in here trying to help him listen in because he has pretty severe ADHD and processing disorder. So the screen is really challenging for him. But like I can hear the other kids telling stories about their day and talking about their parents, and I'm like, and what's going on? And the poor teacher is like, oh, that's really interesting, you know, little Johnny. But okay, we're going to mute you now. And I'm like, oh my God. And she only has like, I think 15 kids in the class. And that's a pretty small public school classroom. And I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine the classes with like, you know, I think I saw in New York City, there's like 27 kids in a class. It's like the average class. And I was like, oh. You know, and then one kid starts and I have a dog. Did you know I have a dog? And like, you know, it's really hard. I've noticed, and at least from like the moms I talk to, you know, on social media from like 5th grade on, it seems somewhat successful because at least, you know, the little kids are just like,
So Dee
I can
Dee,
imagine it with younger kids. Sorry.
that's okay. Dee Dee just wanted us to know that she didn't bag on us. Her hotel internet was crappy, so she got kicked out. But she said that she loved hanging out with us, so she didn't just fall off the face of the earth.
Nice and smoke out here. How's your caramelization going, Martha?
My caramel went fine. It was weird because you're putting it in the food processor and just ran it through, and it was like 2 minutes. And I already put it in the refrigerator. Like I said, my setup's not great today. I can't really. I'm like, I should have gone with the way I did before, but it wasn't working out either. I had no internet with it over there, which is like a foot. So whatever. I'm melting white chocolate. I probably can't see anything, but I'm melting white chocolate right now. And I use, this is cheddar-filled, so it's like nut-free and it's gluten-free white chocolate. It does have dairy and soy in it, so if you can't have those, we actually can have dairy and soy, which is surprising, but those are 2 of the major 8s that we can actually have. So we can't have that, so that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna grab the other stuff. It's coming together. It's just, you're literally layering it on top of each other. Just let it sit in the refrigerator and then cut it is the whole thing. So I just think it's interesting because you don't have to cook it. It just looks really good and easy. So I was like, I think I can do this and talk. So I'm gonna go grab it.
I can see her reflection in the microwave grabbing.
Did you see me?
Microwave grabbing.
I'm trying to avoid that part of the kitchen too. So it was like, there's the microwave. So that's the caramel or the fig topping with coconut. So just like caramelized, but not real caramel. Because it is technically, her recipe is vegan. Of course, I made it not vegan by putting
Dairy.
the white chocolate on it. So
I was going to make the margarita pie from Dee Dee's Our Cuisine book,
Ooh.
but I couldn't get all the ingredients. Honestly. I've been trying for a week to get all the ingredients. So it's all right, because my family really likes that. And for the crust, we use the, they're called the S'moreable, allergy-free graham crackers.
oh yeah, I got those graham crackers because it's so hard to find some without cinnamon in it, because that's one of Kara's, plus she has the egg allergy too. And so I was like, got some of those, and she was like, really liked them the other day. So I was like, yeah, see, and I got you graham crackers. So I'm hanging out with people and everybody needs to learn new things, We can all learn from each other. Ugh, grabbing salt now.
I have children,
Honestly, I'm sorry.
I have children pushing their noses at the door, so I'm going to just sneak this cake outside. I will be right back. Chat away, ladies.
Okay.
Cool. I literally went with this recipe because I had everything in the cupboard. That is why I went with it. And also was it that book that both of me and you were in, the allergy table, Ludwig, I can't say her name, but she actually popped on last time.
Okay.
We had her, Lewis, I can't think of her first name to save my life, I'm sorry. And she said she was too tired to get on tonight because it's 10 o'clock there. So I said, it's okay.
She can look later.
That's right. She said, is it going to be up later? And I was like, yes, I will have it at least on my YouTube channel, plus we'll have it on everybody else's stuff. I'm going to throw this in the freezer real quick. Oh my. Okay. I think it's supposed to rain here tomorrow, so I'm not really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been rainy here, which was nice actually. To wake up to the sound of it made me completely lazy all day. Just couldn't wake up. But that's okay. You need days like that.
You do. You do need days like that. I like the rain though. I just hate thunder if it's too much. And I think it's just because of the tornado alley here. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the mountains and then going here and then having tornadoes, and I've had, I think Adrian was 4 months old. My oldest son was 4 months old when I was in my first one. And yeah, ever since then, it kind of traumatized me. I really hate tornadoes. So if it starts to thunder too much, I really start to freak out.
Completely understandable. We had, was it not last week, the week before, I think, we had an earthquake. And I actually got up and I mean, it wasn't major where I was, but I felt it. I got up, I was in the
Right.
bathroom, and all of a sudden, like, I heard something, and I'm like, wow, is that a truck passing by? Like, is that? And then I felt the floor move, and I heard things rattling. I was like, oh crap, was that just an earthquake? And then, you know, I get on Facebook, and everybody's like, oh my God, it was an earthquake. So apparently we had an earthquake, but
Yeah, I saw when you had that happen too. Yeah, and we're on a major fault line here too. But I've only know of one earthquake, and it was about 6 years ago that we had. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just was confused. I thought the rumbling sounded almost like a tornado, and that's actually what got me up. And then I realized everything is shaking. So, you know, I did everything you're not supposed to do in a tornado. Get up and run around. I mean, not a tornado, earthquake. Sorry.
Years ago, we could have moved to California. We had the choice of Houston or LA, and we ended up in Houston. And one of the deciding factors was I'm really afraid of earthquakes. It wasn't the only deciding factor, but it was definitely in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's the norm for North Carolina. And again, I'm thankful that I wasn't closer to, you know, where it actually originated, because one of my friends was closer, and they thought the house was coming down. They said it was that bad. So that would have freaked me out for a while.
Well, I'm going to wrap up our official call here and say thanks to everyone. We'll put this in comments, and if you have any questions, you can, of course, we'll put all our social.
We froze up again.
Yeah.
There you are.
Hi.
You froze for a minute.